Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bulletproof for BJJ podcast. What if everyone in the world trained Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? I believe it will lead to world peace. But Joey has some pushback. Fair enough. Imagine this. Putin versus Zelensky. What is the style matchup? How does that outcome happen? And would it mean the end of the war? Also, you got a problem with somebody at work. HR. Who do you go to? HR's the ref. Let's jiu-jitsu it out. Whoever wins the role, they get the decision. Also, we discuss, is jiu-jitsu just another form of hierarchy that is entrenching power imbalances? Also to consider, Joe brings up a good point. If all the rich people know jiu-jitsu, are they just going to dominate the world as they do now? We get into some funnier points around politics, money, communism. But can jiu-jitsu solve the world's problems? I say yes. Find out in this episode. Also, you're loving the podcast and we would love for you to like, subscribe, and if you're listening to this on an audio platform, give us a 5-star rating. It goes a long way to helping us and we appreciate it. I've done it, Joe. I've cracked the secret to world peace.
Oh.
If everyone in the world trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I think this would sort out a lot of problems.
Wow.
Yep, I believe, even though there's been plenty of discussion either way saying that, you know, if you're arrogant and mean and not good, that jiu-jitsu actually doesn't improve that. It actually it can make you more of a jerk potentially. Yep. But if we could have conflict resolution based on BJJ, I think we could solve a lot of problems.
Wow.
Like just picture Zelensky versus Putin. Let's look at, well, what's that matchup look like? Now, obviously, Putin has the judo background.
Yeah, you don't want to stand with him.
He's got some special forces background, right?
Yeah.
Military training, psyops. You know, he might be trying to do like 5-finger death touch type shit.
Yeah, the Sistema.
Russian Spetsnaz training. I think Zelensky maybe a guard puller, leg locker.
Yeah, I think Zelensky's going to come in a bit more passive, a bit more like I just want to see where you're at, but then he's going to fuck you up.
Craig Jones has been hanging out.
Yeah, right.
Ukraine. I'm pretty sure.
He lulls you into that Craig Jones sense of, this is just a fun exchange.
And then, oh my God, he's just Vinny Margalazing your leg off.
Got the blood in the eyes on your heel, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. But I think...
You know, and that scenario, Putin gets his knee blown out, I think that's the perfect way to resolve the crisis in Ukraine. Clearly Putin's going to go, you know what, man, you got me. I'll call the troops home.
Well, I think Putin doesn't tap. I can see him just blowing his knee out like Vinny and not tapping.
Yeah.
And Zelensky going, bro, it's broken. Bro,
call him in.
This is disgusting. I'm sorry. Like the same thing with Craig. Like, oh man, I've twisted your leg off. He's like, keep going. No, go. You know, I did not tap. And I think the difficulty here is there may be some after, you know, and then suddenly, Zelensky dies of uranium poisoning.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Like there's a little shake of hands and he just stuck the sticker on the back of his neck. And, No, the reason why I say this is there was a discussion the other day at my other workplace. It was like an HR discussion as a conflict. And 2 people were saying, well, you're in the wrong. And no one was actually no one was right in this situation. They're both wrong, but they both had very strong points of view. And there was a lot of seniority involved because one person had been there 15 years, another person 20 years. And it's kind of like these people had never gotten on, but they're both stalwarts.
Right.
And I was like, let them fight it out. I want to, let's just agree that whoever wins, or we could go best of 3, however we do it, no points, submission only, old boys just banging it out on the docks. That's what I want to see. I think a lot more jiu-jitsu, like if you can't bring a resolution, you better be up on your jiu-jitsu. That's what I'm thinking. I think this could be a great way. Like you think about...
go on, sorry.
No, in Troy...
Yeah.
You may have seen the film. It's a terrible film, but...
Just remember the scene where...
that's it. Yeah. At the start, they bring
Achilles takes
the
out
massive
Goliath.
unit.
Isn't it?
He's Australian.
He's Kiwi.
Oh, he's a Kiwi.
Living in Oz. Yeah, he's a strong man.
Right. Well,
Nathan, someone or other.
I think he might have done
I worked on a set with him once. I saw it and he was...
this Ong Bak too?
No. He was in. We did a camera test. This is my film industry days. We did a camera test for. It was a George Miller film, the guy that directed Mad Max.
Yes. I think he was in Mad Max as well. That big unit.
He might have been, but it was
remake.
It was a camera test for a George Miller film that never saw the light of day.
Shame.
And he was on set, and I was like, whoa. Oh my God, that's the guy. Like I'd seen some units in that career, you know, and I was like, that guy is so big.
The biggest.
I read a story about him once that he got locked up as a young man in New Zealand, and he actually bent the prison bars, and got out. Which is an old school.
Amazing.
But yeah, right. So Achilles,
and they go,
boom, boom.
They've got the whoever it is, like the Phoenicians and the Greeks or whatever, and they're like, all right, we could slaughter y'all, but let's do it old school. One of yours versus one of ours. And they're like, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
And then the guy just peels out the crowd. You're like, holy, that guy's 7'5" and 160 kilos. And they're like, get Achilles. And they got to go get Brad Pitt from under a pile of women.
Yeah.
So that's how he gets so strong. Just bench pressing off all of the women. And then he just comes out, block,
knifes him in the neck.
See you later. How much better would it be if world leaders had to stay in shape and they had to get their shit on?
Well, okay. So, I agree. Yeah, staying in shape's important. I'm with that.
You don't think jiu-jitsu solves that?
I just don't. Okay, so I like the sentiment, and I think that there is a place where, where a role can really just like settle a conflict.
Yeah.
But, and I'll draw on another example to
Please.
illustrate this point. Have you ever watched any of those docos on the gypsies of northern UK, like
Sure.
Northern England?
Yeah.
Or
King
like
of
of
the
the UK.
Gypsies.
Yeah,
I'm king of the gypsies.
and they fight each other, right?
Sure.
They have these bare knuckle boxing matches.
Sure.
Now, I might be speaking out of turn because the doc I watched was many years ago now.
Definitely.
And I'm sure it's all of, Tyson Fury is one of those, right? But the beauty of it is they get this huge animosity, right? This group and this group, huge animosity, and they release mixtapes where they're talking shit about each other, and then they finally show up, and all the lads are there, and the two guys bare knuckle duke it out, and it's over, and the whole thing's squashed.
Right.
The beauty of it is that none of them can box.
Oh, right.
They're tough as nails.
Yes.
But they're not trained boxers.
Right.
Right? So it's like two guys in the pub that you would have seen when we were growing up.
Sure.
Where they're just like slugging it out, and no one's really particularly good at the thing, and they sort of get to a point where both players have copped enough damage.
Right.
And expelled the negative sort of energy that they're like, all right, fella, let's hug it out, have another beer.
Sure.
I think that's ideal. And so I'm thinking in a jiu-jitsu context, it's like when you're both white belts and you don't know that much and you're just scrapping, that's but then there's this moment where you start to learn some shit.
Yeah.
And then now, and I mean, think about us, right? Imagine we had a conflict in the business and we're like, let's settle it on.
We've got to roll.
Bro, that's not doing anything to harbor. Like, it's only going to fan flames.
Things.
Yeah, because we have expectations of and we have this whole...
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying here is I think people may already think that's what happens. People may already think these guys are both black belts. They got to deal with each other every week. Surely they must just have to roll it out at some point. Like, they've got to just, all right, what's the rule set? Let's the Trello. This is how the decision gets. And that is not how it works. That is not how it works at all. But the reason why I say this is I do believe, and this is something we kind of touched on before this conversation, that there is a societal leveler in jiu-jitsu in the sense that being better at jiu-jitsu can give you a higher level of status. Now, I could see where your point was going, and I will get you to explain it, but essentially that someone can be not doing very well in their career, say, like maybe not as high up the chain as the first world capitalist view of the world. Like, they might not be earning a lot of money, or maybe their job.
Like you're saying someone working class.
But just someone who's doing a job. Maybe they don't love their job, but they're just doing it, right? Different level of education, upbringing, all those things, and it's not throwing shade on what that is. But then you get someone who's a CEO who gets paid a lot of money makes certain decisions which maybe are considered high value, but maybe their pay is disproportional to what they do. And you're like, oh, that's not fair. But in the jiu-jitsu context, maybe the CEO is the white belt, is the more lowly person. And then the person who's maybe considered to be lower in the hierarchy, like maybe it's the intern at the CEO's firm is a brown belt.
Yeah.
And is now in charge of the CEO. It's like, oh, okay. All right, you're gonna be doing some sprawls tonight, whatever it might be. But what I like about that with jiu-jitsu skill, not just white belts punching it out, is you've got to have respect for someone who's shown dedication and hard work for a thing. And with jiu-jitsu, whether it's gi or no gi, skills are skills. Like if you say you've got a good guard, okay, show me. Like it's not, you kind of can't get lucky in that way.
Yeah.
You have the skills or you don't. Your skills are practiced or they're not. And so I believe that if everybody's trained jiu-jitsu, then this changes this dynamic of, oh, I'm the HR manager and you're the lowly dockhand and you have to do what I fucking say. It's like, wow, I find that a lot of the societal structures and power balances in the world are incredibly arbitrary. Whereas, and you could say that about jiu-jitsu, but jiu-jitsu, it's all like the skills and the hard work and the time spent is fucking earned. And it's pretty unequivocal compared to someone whose dad knew the company owner and then that guy got hopped up and now that guy's of senior management and this guy worked on the docks for 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so that's where I feel that jiu-jitsu, if everybody trained jiu-jitsu and you got to a point of conflict about a thing and you're like, all right, well, I guess we're going to have to jiu-jitsu it out. That is a great leveler. That's what I'm trying to say. You were saying that you don't agree. You believe that the jiu-jitsu hierarchy is just another hierarchy.
It's the new year and you want to get in shape. You've made the decision that you want to get in the gym and start building a strong, robust body for jiu-jitsu. Obviously, JT and I are on board with this decision of yours. But the problem is there's so much information out there, it can be really hard to know where to start and what kind of process to follow. This is exactly why JT and I designed the Bulletproof for BJJ app. The idea was that it would clear away the noise, cut away the bullshit, and give you the fastest and easiest to follow routines so that you can build a strong body that can perform confidently on the mats and stave off injury as best as possible. You can start a free trial right now and you get 2 weeks on that. All you got to do is go to the App Store and download the Bulletproof for BJJ app, start a free trial, and off you go. And the best part about it is once you join the app, you will get coached personally by JT, myself, and the Bulletproof coaching team. Let's make 2025 a banger for you. Let's get fit, strong, robust. Download the Bulletproof for BJJ app today. About 6 months ago, I wasn't able to get to jiu-jitsu class with the same frequency that I normally would. And for the first time ever, I actually went to an online platform, submeta.io, and subscribed. And it was the first time I'd done that because I found that for me, the whole instructionals, downloadable things, DVDs, etc., just never worked. So I thought I would give Submeta a go. And what I loved about it was that I could jump straight into a stream of learning with a coach that I wanted to learn from, and that was Lachlan Giles. And the way that the lessons were broken down were really easy to understand. It had all the different positions, all the different submissions, and you could basically just choose the one you wanted to learn, and then you could choose like a different level of difficulty. So beginner, intermediate, advanced. And I'll be honest, I actually jumped in at some of the beginner stuff. The videos were short, the lessons were concise, and the most awesome thing about it was that it just stepped me through from A to B to C. And so you tick the lessons off. It is the most comprehensive learning platform for jiu-jitsu that I've found. And the way that the lessons are structured, it makes it really easy for you to remember what you learn. So it's not just this more information kind of thing. It's really well organized and it's there to help you get better at jiu-jitsu. Our friends at Submeta are offering a discount for Bulletproof listeners. If you go to submeta.io and when you check out, use the discount code Bulletproof16, you will get $16 off your first payment. Whether you're a white belt or you're a black belt like me or anything in between, I promise you'll get a lot out of it. Go to submeta.io, use the code Bulletproof16 and rip in. Yeah, so I mean, so I agree with the idea, but yeah, I think in practicality, like let's just take some archetypes. Let's say that CEO's a f***ing asshole.
Yeah.
Right.
But also a black belt.
Drives around in his Mercedes and just, whatever.
Burning money to light his cigar.
Yeah, that's right. And then let's say that the other cat is, cleans public toilets.
Sure.
Right. And let's say that the fella that cleans public toilets can kick the CEO's ass at Jiu Jitsu because the CEO just signed up.
Sure.
Yes, there is a hierarchy in the dojo where the toilet cleaner is superior to the CEO. Does that CEO leave and go back to his everyday life and change the way he acts and behaves in the world simply because the toilet cleaner kicked his ass? I think the cynic in me thinks not. The cynic in me thinks like, yeah, no, there's a maybe some level of respect or something on the mats, and then outside of that, it's just like, oh, that.
But what I'm saying, what if the world is the mats, Joe? This is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so the world of mats, yes, but then what about when the CEO is really good at jiu-jitsu and the toilet cleaner's not? So the guy gets shit on in society, and then the guy gets shit on the mats.
Yeah, but I mean, but there's plenty of people who are that already. There's plenty of CEOs out there who are high level at jiu-jitsu.
But I don't think that's helping anyone.
No, but I'm saying that there's plenty of those toilet cleaners who maybe they put all their time into jiu-jitsu and they are better than the CEO. Look at the current...
No, of course. But my point there is there's a power imbalance in society.
I agree.
When that same power balance exists, i.e. like as in it exists in the same individuals on the mats, what does that equal? Does that further humanity as per your claim?
Well, no, what I'm saying here is if we look at the current setup of humanity, we look at the strikes, we look at how Amazon workers are getting treated, we look at how fire service people are being treated, we look at how any service is being treated versus
nurses,
how a CEO is being treated. Well, unless they're a CEO of a health insurer, and then blah, blah. No comment.
Are you laughing at a man got capped?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Ruthless.
Hilarious. I mean, I don't know who did it. I don't know if who they're saying did it actually did it, but we're not getting into that right now.
Oh, I think Mangione did it.
Bro, did you see the eyebrows? No. Anyway.
No, did you read his manifesto?
Yeah, but is it his manifesto? The guy's too smart. The guy is way too smart to have outed himself in such a dumb way. Like, I'm not buying it. Anyway, that's up for our friends in the tinfoil hat society to work out. I'm not going to get into that. What I wanted to say with this is, if you've got someone like a Jeff Bezos, and then they refuse to really acknowledge the hard work. Like, look at the fires in LA right now, right?
Now go with the Bezos one. I'm following you.
No, but I'm saying that the reason why it was in the footage of a fireman. This guy was an Amazon worker trying to get through to deliver a package to a house that's burning down. And the fireman's like, bro, you can't go in there. Like, there's not even probably a house. He's like, no, I got to deliver this. The Amazon workers were having to deliver shit during the fires in LA. Are you serious?
Company memo.
Crazy shit, right? Like, it's more about that the humanity of people is often denied because of their financial status. I believe that jiu-jitsu has a way to balance the scales. So it wouldn't be as simple as, okay, CEO's a black belt. Pretty sure the CEO black belt is not as good as you could pick representatives. I mean, maybe the CEO black belt's like, I choose Gordon Ryan as my representative, as my +1.
That's the John Wick shit where they
elect somebody as their step in, right? But what I'm saying is, I believe that jiu-jitsu brings an understanding to the common struggle. That's what I'm saying. I think for many people, if we look at Donald Trump's cabinet, they're millionaires and billionaires. These people are divorced from reality. Should these people be running the country? Like, back in the day, the Senate was comprised of many different people. It wasn't just comprised of rich, educated people. It was comprised of people from all walks of life, so that people who are making
Which Senate in America? Are you talking about Rome?
I'm talking about Greece, Rome. Like, the idea of the Senate was
all that shit.
No. Historically, if we look at how our society is structured, it's based on what happened in ancient Greece and ancient Rome.
Yeah.
The setup, right? Financial, everything. Like, also we owe a lot in mathematics and astrology to Arabic culture. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that.
Wow.
Turn to a history podcast. But We've just come off the back of holidays. It's 2025 and it's a good time. And the thing that I've been messing with lately in the new year is unflavored hydration salts from Sodi. Now you might say to yourself, why would you have unflavored? Because you can add your own flavors, whatever it is. Add it to your favorite soft drink. Put a little bit of peach iced tea in there, whatever you need. It is a fantastic way to improve your hydration. Now, Sodi have all the flavors of the rainbow to help improve your performance for BJJ. It doesn't matter if it's wintertime, summertime, you need to be hydrated. So go to Sodi, SODII.com.au and use the code Bulletproof15 to get 15% off. Improve your performance, stay hydrated, and enjoy. Let's focus on the fact that the way the world is run is divorced from reality. The people who are making decisions
fully agree.
Do not, they don't experience the world. So what I'm saying is, if you could get folks who run the world to have to expose themselves physically to those who suffer at your decisions, you might reconsider your decisions. Nothing like that neon rib cage, neon neck, like.
I do agree in that scenario. I do agree that it's for sure. Like
I think that jiu-jitsu.
But I just think that if a power imbalance exists in society, right?
It can exist in.
Chances are, like if you're Zuckerberg and you decide, hey, I'm going to get into this fight thing, then it's like you're flying Musa Mechia, you're hanging with Gordon. I don't know who you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if Bezos decides that he wants to get good at jiu-jitsu, he will get good at it faster than anybody else.
I don't know that he can, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Do you know, like, and so when that person stays, when they're also elite on the mats, I'm like, I think it kind of pokes holes in the.
No, I don't. The
argument.
I don't think it does in the sense of. Do you think that Mikey Musumeci is brutalizing Mark Zuckerberg? No. Do you think that Jeff Bezos would allow someone to beat the shit out of him? No. I'm going to say Jensen Gomez is going to fuck those guys up. Pull that kid out the favela and say, this is the guy who let your mum die of cancer. You're like, all right, bro, let's have a round. Right? Like I believe that what jiu-jitsu does for us, it's the hardest feedback you can get. Even when you think you're good, you're going to meet someone who's like, nah, dude, you don't do this the way I do it. And what I think is, it is one of those things that we don't allow ourselves those hard doses of reality because they're really hard to swallow. And people higher and higher up in organizations make decisions without feeling the pain of those below them, right?
Yeah.
We all know that. I'm not saying anything revolutionary here, but jiu-jitsu is like a very controlled source of pain.
Sounds
that usually,
a bit commie to me.
Well, you could say that. But I mean, what I'm saying is like I actually do have huge faith in jiu-jitsu's ability to kind of give you a dose of reality that won't kill you, but could change your mind. And the thing is with the boxing matches, people aren't getting smarter punching each other in the head. Whereas I think jiu-jitsu does force you to think differently. And even if you think you're really good at someone and someone completely f***s you up on it, it makes you reconsider your decisions. So I'm not saying that, having the striking Amazon work of roll with Jeff Bezos makes him change his decision. But I'm saying if you said, all right, Elon, you want to buy TikTok, you have to also fight the CEO of, I would actually,
ByteDance.
Yeah, ByteDance. Yeah, and I think,
that Tiger style shit.
Yeah, and then you might, you think your Twitter style can defeat me. No, I would say that those people would spend their time differently because they have to, they have an accountability. I believe accountability is divorced from so many decisions now. And jiu-jitsu, as strange as it sounds, could be like a really good form of accountability for these people, knowing that at some point they're going to have to back up what they're saying by putting themselves on the line. This is what I'm talking about.
Are you also saying that the outcome of the jiu-jitsu duel would be decisive in...
decision-making?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, potentially. So then the union workers are like, oh, it appears Mighty Mouse has joined the Postal Workers Union. Hey, what up, Mighty? We're going to get the goat in. And then, yeah, and I mean, look, I this is just for fun, right? Because I'm like, well, what kind of jiu-jitsu does Donald Trump do? not a pro, what's his style?
Lay and pray.
Yeah,
Just to get that
Half
heavy
guard.
side control, smother
Half
choke.
guard,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mother's milk.
yeah. He's got the tits for it. That's right. But you can't touch his hair. That would
Just
probably
sweat on your
probably
ass.
be a rule. You probably could.
Waterboarding you, the f***ing rashy in the mouth.
You
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have a rashy. Just
Yeah.
like
His sweat's brown because
tits-
it's taken off the tan.
tits, hair, and shit.
It's a strategy, bro.
It is. It is. But I guess the thing is to consider the way the world is working or not working is because the higher up the chain you go, there's less accountability and barriers are kind of swept aside based on money. People who donated money to the president's campaign are now in his, cabinet. Is that the way it's meant to go? I question that. And I'm not saying it should be based on jiu-jitsu, but let's consider this. If people knew at some point that they would be held accountable physically for their decisions, and that had to be done mano a mano, their lives would be different and their decisions would be different. I believe that. You may not.
Did you see that clip of Zuckerberg on Rogan where he's talking about bow hunting?
No.
Oh, bro. They're talking about hunting or,
Sure.
procuring meat or something. And Zuckerberg's like, oh, but by far, like, my favorite is like, bow and arrow. And Rogan's like, oh, you bow hunt? He's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, oh, and starts inquiring.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg clearly does not.
He doesn't know.
And he's like, he's like, when's the last time you went? And he's like, oh, and he's like, what bow you got? And he's like, oh, wow, man, I should know. And he's like, do you know the brand?
ZX
Yeah,
9300.
it's so bad, bro. Like, you can see that Rogan's like smells blood because he's like, this trying to like,
but also Rogan is not trying to go in hard on Zuck, right?
Yeah, but I felt like he doesn't really give, like he doesn't go in hard on certain people, right?
Of course.
But I
because
felt
he
like,
wants them to come back.
well, no, but
He wants that Facebook. He wants those Facebook stocks. That's what he wants.
yeah, I don't think no, I saw that clip. I
Joe
was like,
Rogan is
he didn't seem to
Joe
give a
Rogan
about
is
Zuck.
an apologist for oligarchs. Let's just be honest. He's almost one of them.
Yeah, but
So-
he didn't seem to care about Zuck because I don't know if Zuck has much to offer him.
No. He gives him audience to lie. He's like, yeah, listen. My listeners will listen to you. They'll believe your bullshit. Look, guys.
yeah,
Look, it looks like we lied before. With the whole vaccine, I was forced to lie, and I used my platform to lie. But now I'm the honest guy because we're making it easier for you to say whatever you want on our platform, right? Because I'm the cool guy now. Look at my hair. I go bow hunting. I'm cool.
Are you talking about Zuck or Rogan?
Zuck.
Zuck, right?
I'm saying that Rogan gives him the platform to try to spruce up his image. He's done this a bunch of times. He's done it for Elon. He's done it for everyone. It's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of, for me, it's like, no, I don't have the same respect for Joe Rogan I used to. It's like, nah, you're on the dicks of these guys as hard as you can be. It's
Yeah, I'd second that.
It's disappointing because Rogan used to bring, like, if he
Inspired a
someone was
generation of
full
podcasters.
if someone was full of shit, he would be like, hang on, man, that's not right. Hey, Jamie, pull that up. Let's get the facts on this guy.
Yeah.
Like he did it to old mate
Dave Asprey.
He
About the
fucking-
coffee claims.
Yeah, destroyed
Yeah.
him. It was great.
Yeah.
You're like, that's really cool because that's not often seen.
Yeah, but Asprey, in relative terms, was a nobody to Rogan.
Oh no, of course.
Yeah.
And anyway, to the side. Tell us what you think in the comments, fam. Do you think if everyone in the world trained jiu-jitsu, it would be a better world? I think we could say yes. Let us know.
Sound out.
Yo.